So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Jungle, 1952. Giving it 1 out of 5 stars. I hated this flick. 100 square miles of dangers, and a woman was the greatest danger of them all. Filmed in sepia in the mystic heart of India. It's got Cesar Romero, who of course played the Joker on the Batman television show. 1952 Indian-U.S. adventure film directed by William Burke. Mr. T.R. Sundaram, The Modern Theaters Limited, and William Burke Production. It stars Rod Cameron, Cesar Romero, Barry Windsor, and M.N. Nambiar in lead roles. The film was the first science fiction film in India. Also known as Kadu, it was released on August 1st, 1952. Great White Hunter and an Indian princess trek into the Indian jungle to investigate a number of wild animal stampedes which have resulted in the deaths of many people. On the journey, they discover a horde of prehistoric woolly mammoths are responsible for the terror. Well, the Great White Hunter knew that all along, but nobody believed him, including the Princess of India. I thought Gandhi was ruling India at this time. Apparently there's a princess that I never heard of, but she's in there. Okay. So she wants to kick this Great White Hunter dude out of town. So does Cesar Romero. Cesar Romero thinks that the Great White Hunter dude is responsible for his brother's death. And the Great White Hunter dude keeps making up this story about woolly mammoths, which comes true at the end. They don't believe him until the very end. So he brings a bunch of... Well, first of all, she wants to kick him out. So does Cesar Romero. But he wants to restore his reputation, so he offers to tag along. And she accepts reluctantly. So he brings some hand grenades. And they trek through the jungle. You see a bunch of animals fighting with each other. Not much going on. Pretty boring stuff. 1 out of 5 stars. Not a great flick. I thought it was pretty boring. Windsor played Princess Mari. Cesar Romero plays Rama Singh. A pretty mediocre 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb. Only 132 ratings. Nobody knows about this flick. While most of the reference books give Mary Windsor's character name as Princess Mari, her character name in the movie is actually Princess Sita. There's another review on IMDb. Wow, this is long. Low-budget nonsense about Princess Mari. Mary Windsor. I thought it was Princess Sita, who moves back to India where Hunter Steve Bentley, Rod Cameron, and Rama Singh Cesar Romero fight over her. While all this is going on, villagers are being killed by stampeding elephants, so the 3 lovebirds go into the jungle and discover woolly mammoths. The jungle film has been around since the silent days. When you hear jungle and low budget, you typically expect all sorts of stock footage mixed in with the actors on a soundstage. It's shocking, but that's actually not the case here. because this film gets the added benefit of having actually been shot in India, and these locations are certainly a major plus. Sadly, the rest of the film is a major chore to sit through because the 73-minute running time is pretty much all start and very little end. We know we're going to the film to see the monsters, but they don't show up until around 3 minutes left to go in the film. So we have to sit through countless dialogue scenes that just go nowhere. It's really the only reason they're in the film is to fatten up the running time. Oh, it sounds like a Jerry Warren film. But Jerry Warren has its own uniqueness to it. I can't really compare. We get quite a bit of footage of local animals, including several elephants, as well as lions, tigers, and boars. We even get a pretty violent fight between a boar and a tiger. That might be the highlight to many, even though it never gets too graphic. Being able to see all this stuff was a bonus, but the rest of the footage is pretty lame. The sight of the woolly mammoths are a real treat because they're just elephants with some sort of rug thrown over them. I would give the producers credit because they didn't look too horribly bad. At the same time, it's still very obvious at the trick they did. The three leads are decent in the parts, but none of them are worthy of awards. I'd say it's safe to bet that all three were happy with their trip to India, so we're lucky we got anything from them. Director Burke was a veteran of this type of film, and he was behind the camera on several Jungle Jim movies, but I can't say I'm impressed with his work as he brings no energy to anything we see. 1.5 out of 4 stars. Michael Elliott, May 10th, 2011. Review on IMDb. Not much else is going on with this flick. More movies like this, The Unholy Wife, The Narrow Margin, Lost Continent, with Cesar Romero, Dakota Lil. All right. So I think I pretty much covered everything. My son's got spaghetti. We've got to head out in 10 minutes, and I've got to go to my second job. I worked about 5 hours today. It was pretty tame. I'll get another couple hours tonight, and maybe I'll get called in for an emergency route tomorrow morning. Cross my fingers. I'm not on the schedule for tomorrow or Thursday, so I might just end up doing laundry all day, watching Netflix and YouTube. Oh, I don't have any Netflix. All right, let's go down the list. Because this is what I'll be watching tomorrow if I don't go to work, if I don't get called in, like 4 or 5, 6 in the morning, something like that. Oh, my Robinhood was back up today. My put option was up 158% at one point today. I got all excited and I texted Stephanie. Not that she's interested in my investment portfolio, but when I get excited, I have to send her a text message. All right, here we go. One Body Too Many, 1944, Bela Lugosi. That's my next one. It's comedy horror in HD with subtitles. Okay. Blood Warriors, 1993. Screaming Tiger, 1973. The Wild World of Batwoman, 1966. Jerry Warren. Queen of the Amazons, 1947. Hell Up in Harlem, 1973. Snow Beast, 1977. Platoon Leader, 1988. Sherlock Holmes, The Case of the Reluctant Carpenter. TV episode 21, 1955. Mercenary Fighters, 1988. The Buckskin Lady, 1957. Stormcatcher, 1999. The Taking of Beverly Hills, 1991. The Manster, 1959. Bedside Manor, 1945, a.k.a. Her Favorite Patient. Dark Mountain, 1944. The Crater Lake Monster, 1977. The Giant Spider Invasion. Stick, 1985. The Forest, 1982. Phantom from Space, 1953. The Dungeon of Harrow, 1962. The Amazing Mr. X, 1948. Damnation Alley, 1977. Shadow Warriors 2, 1999. Law of the Jungle, 1942. Blake of Scotland Yard, 1937. Kansas City Confidential, 1952. The White Cannibal Queen, 1980. Windjammer, 1937. Swampfire, 1946. Police Story 4. Blood Ring, 1991. Hostile Country, 1950. Rotor, The Wrong Road, 1937. You Bet Your Life. Identity Unknown, 1945. Chained for Life, 1952. Untamed Women, 1952. The Case of the Christmas Pudding, Sherlock Holmes TV episode 23, 1955. Texas, Brooklyn, and Heaven, 1948. Beast from Haunted Cave, 1959. Moon of the Wolf, 1972. Hurricane Smith, 1992. Rare 90s action. Sherlock Holmes, The Case of the Careless Suffragette, TV episode 20, 1955. Showdown, 1993. Best of the Best 2. TNT, 1997. My Dear Secretary, 1948. The Mystery Man, 1935. Bride of the Gorilla, 1951. Letter of Introduction, 1938. Dick Tracy versus the Mole, Season 1, Episodes 9 through 12. Devil's Island, 1939. Angel Town, 1990. Mercenary, 1996. Night Fright, 1967. And last but not least, DEFCON 4, 1985. That's my list. We got to go in 5 minutes, so I'll let you go. Not highly recommended. I won't say check it out. It's a boring jungle movie, walking around the jungle for an hour to discover woolly mammoths. Not much going on in this one. Sorry, but I think I prefer the Jerry Warren boring dialogue for some reason. Just because it's mind-numbingly dull. This one is just plain bad. Not enjoyable at all. So this is the second cult cinema classics that I've really, really disliked. Either love it or hate. You either love or hate cult cinema classics. Mostly love, though. For the most part. So this is one of those hate movies. Sorry, I couldn't get into it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I love Jerry Warren, but I can't stand other movies with boring dialogue for some reason. Don't ask me why. I think that Jerry Warren is just on another plane. It's just way up here. All right. Well, I better get ready for work. Laters.